Hello, the Rolling Stones. When I was 11 years old, my brother and I hopped a train to try to get tickets from a scalper, admittedly, for your July 26th, 1972 performance, which of course is Mick's birthday. No tickets an 11-year-old could afford were there, needless to say. But 2 years later, as you released a movie, a concert film, or a film concert, rather, you called Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. And it was just that, it was a film concert. My brother and I went to see that. It was miraculous. The interpretations of your own work were as if Exile on Main Street had suddenly had four sides. It was miraculous what you had done. The performance was outstanding. The playing was tight, fast, almost superhuman. Yet, when I look back at videos of your 1969 shows, which are also magnificent, they are completely different arrangements again. It is really very much possible with you to have many versions of the same song, and have you 5 tumbling dices that are so different enough to have been entitled something else. And I have 2 questions for you, if you would. My first is, do you ever plan to release Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones on DVD? I feel, with all due respect to Martin's great work, who, by the way, my cousin was in Casino. But anyway, Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones was the greatest rock concert film I had ever seen by anyone. Secondly, can you tell me anything, guys, about the composition of Tumbling Dice? It is my favorite song. It's, in fact, it's more or less neck and neck with Bach's Little Fugue. It is a sublime work in Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. It's a fantastic rock and roll song on Exile on Main Street. It turns into something sublime and beautiful in Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. And then, I think there was an FM broadcast that I think was called the Brussels Affair. You had a concert in Brussels where you again reinvented Tumbling Dice into a completely different song. It became a slow, fat, powerful, thunderous song, and whereas the 72 versions were just tight and fast, and neither of them resembled the album, and so we had 3 tumbling dices from you. That's really quite a gift. And that could be the same of just the Satisfaction of 1969, and then, which was a gritty, hard, fast, almost acid rock when compared to the 71 Satisfaction that is big and fat and filled with brass and has a sort of an allegro, adagio, allegro type of fast, slow climax, an eruption of brass. It's a beautiful thing. So, anyway, my question now is becoming far too long, but my question is, would you consider releasing CDs of each tour so people could hear this other dimension that I think you alone amongst the biggies possessed? Certainly, as good as the Beatles were, they were one-dimensional. It was the studio, and if they played it live, it was a replica of the studio. You had a studio version, you would have a live version, and then you would have a new live version, and then another live version. It was just fantastic what you did. So I would ask if you're ever planning on releasing those tours, 72, 69, I know they're yayas, yeah, but there was even better work, like in the film Gimme Shelter. And And the way when you sing Tumbling Dice in Mick, when you sing Tumbling Dice in Ladies and Gentlemen, you seem to be having a sublime experience. And it certainly sounds that way. And I could go on, but YouTube wouldn't let me. So, and you probably wouldn't want to. So anyway, those are my two questions. Now, too late to be concise. Would you consider? Are you ever going to release Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones? And can you tell me anything about the composing of Tumbling Dice? Thank you guys for the lifetime of gifts to me, and I think I speak for most of the world. Thanks very much.